Chicago at Tampa Bay. Could the Bears go 0-17?
Well, we certainly know it's possible. Again, we were talking about this before. You know, it was a little, we cheated a little looking at the schedule and everything. Like you said, you asked the question. I mean, it's like, when are they going to win the game, right? It's like if they don't win, what were the games we said that they that they have a really good chance? Let me
pull up the Bears schedule. So they play the Chiefs. Okay, they're going to hang 50 on us. The Broncos and the Broncos, Commanders, Raiders are 3 of the next 4 games outside of the Vikings. They have to, if they don't win one of those, their next chance to win,
probably the Panthers would be definitely the best,
or Arizona.
And I do think you guys will. Don't get me wrong. I think the chances of you guys actually losing, I mean, jokes aside, I'm kidding at first, but like, all right, so jokes aside, I think that if I'm the Panthers, y'all beat the Panthers, y'all probably beat the Cardinals. I think, but it's like at most we're looking at like 3-4, right? I mean, it's like we're getting it. We were looking at like 7, 8, 9 at the beginning of the year. Now, like we dwindled heavy, and it's like it's only. I mean, unless you guys just, unless you somehow pull out against the Chiefs right now, you'd like, it's like it's probably really downhill from here. There's a lot of uncertainty in the building with the Bears right now.
Yeah,
that's been the biggest thing. I mean, you guys have been showing me all week is like, the dialogue has been very heavy around
brutal,
like,
man.
Do nothing, bro. They keep saying, what do they say? They say the more things change, the more they stay the same. Man, let me tell you, I'm trying to think of a time that I actually started where I started actually really seriously caring about football, following football. I don't think there's been a time in my life that I actually started caring, my point, really actually being in football, where the story around the Bears hasn't just been the ownership around this group is just inept. The general management around this group is just suspect. The coaching around this team is just not it. It's just been the same thing for so long. And they keep making me look like a jackass. I keep gassing the Bears before the year start. I keep trying to think that things are going to turn around. They're getting the local population excited for the season. In Chicagoland out here, and it's like, unfortunately, bro, the Bears are just in for another rough year, no matter how you slice it. Even if they really turn things around, it's like best case scenario. I mean, what is best case scenario at this point? Let's be realistic. I mean, I'm a realistic guy. Justin, I don't think he's just going to absolutely just turn the switch like this out of nowhere and get all his confidence back.
No.
And I think, again, to your point, best case scenario is that he starts actually having confidence outside the pocket, feeling like, fuck it, I'm going to actually roll out. I'm going to do my thing again, because obviously they coached that out of him this offseason. It's tough though. Well, see, the best case scenario though, and I've been saying this, no Bears fan really wants to hear it still, but you guys are going to come to your senses soon, is honestly, actually, you already have come to your senses though. Just suck the year away. If you guys suck the year away and the Panthers suck the year away, it's best case scenario, truth be told, at this point. Besides, like we said, literally Justin just turning the switch and becoming, again, amazing, making this amazing switch.
Yeah.
What are the chances of that happening? In realistic chances, it's very slim.
I think here's what you do. I think realistically, they're not going to get many wins this year. They're probably going to lose every game in their division. The game plans have been horrible. Fields just doesn't let go of the ball. Horrible decisions when he does. He doesn't use his legs, which makes the game easy for him. The running game has been horrendous. Horrendous. The O-line played decent until the end of the game. I thought Vita Vea was going to fucking eat our lunch, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. But the Bears don't look like an NFL football team. It's actually embarrassing. The lone bright spots are Roshan Johnson, Darnell Wright, and DJ Moore. That is what the future of this team is. And the Bears defense, again, no pressure. Fucking Yannick had his arms all over Baker and he evaded a sack. We're paying you $8.5 million a year. You need to get the sack. Both starting safeties went down. We're already in a backup cornerback because Kyler Gordon is on IR with a broken hand. The Chiefs are going to hang 50 on us. The pass rush is non-existent. This is a get-right game for the Chiefs. Baker looked like Baker at his peak. He was creating out of structure. He was getting the ball off. He was missing some guys, but that's just Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans balled out, even though there was an egregious PI that he got away with. I wasn't too upset because I have him on my fantasy team and he was starting. But you could tell the Bucs were playing with their food this game. I listened to an interview with Diana Rossini, and she talked to Todd Bowles before the game, and they had game plan for Justin to run. Justin had 3 yards this game. He thought week 1 was a fluke. He literally said, Todd Bowles said week 1 was a fluke. They're going to run him. And they didn't. Rashad White is mid, but he could thrive in Tampa if he just breaks off a couple runs. The O-line for Tampa was pretty decent, but really not saying much against the Bears pass rush. The D-line began to get pressures as the game went on, making it hard for Fields to do anything, but the defense did a good job picking up on a very predictable offense. Like that pick 6 was like we had run the same play 3 times in a row. So, yeah, to answer the question, the Bears could go 0-17. This coaching staff is like malpractice. It's bad.
Dude, I say, it's like that whole thing. I guess you got to be careful what you wish for, bro. Maybe you guys were better off with Nagy. No, I'm just kidding.
We were. Yeah. Justin was much better off with Nagy. Like, they had Justin change all his mechanics. And I was saying this before the game. Who the fuck is Luke Getsy? Like, who is Luke Getsy to say, Justin Fields, what have you been successful with all your life? You can't do it anymore. Who are you? You were a quarterback coach for the Packers. You've never called plays before. Who are you to do that? Who are you?
Yeah, dude, there is just the 3 screens in a row. It's definitely the low point of the game. But it's like, bro, the thing is, I have so much to say in a short time. It's like, I don't know where to start. But just Justin, number 1, has just not made the leap. Not at all. I mean, he's missing that wheel route. You can't scheme a guy more open than that in the league. You can't miss it. I'm gonna keep going back to that one. That's the worst rep that he has had probably in his career. But then back over here to, I'm going to talk because I'm not even going to go too much into the Bears. Like, we know the Bears. It's like
garbage.
They're injured and they're just not it. We know that. I'm not going to go too much into it. However, on the Bucs side, right? Look, man, is Baker on a fucking revenge tour over here? Like, I know your guys' defense sucks, but that still's a great stat line, even against the defense that, even against the defense that sucks. And he made Mike Evans look like the Hall of Famer that he's going to be. Mike Evans just had an absolute Hall of Fame game on you guys, though. I mean, this is egregious. One more catch.
What did I say? What did I say in the chat?
Gone for 200.
Career games for Mike Evans and Baker. I said this before the game, and that is literally what happened. They didn't even have Kalijah Cansey on the D line.
You cannot. I'll say this is one of those games you honestly cannot make this up. This was really this was the pinnacle of you crystal balled this one. What was that one stat too about Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens haven't won one pass rush rep? Like, there is so much malpractice going on this team. On the Bears. It's like on the Bucs though, hey, it's all fun. It's all fun if you're a Bucs fan, right? Hey, it's a surprise, everyone
it's just
said
making the draft picks look so much worse for Chicago because they're not developing. And like, I honestly feel like Darnell Wright is just developing because he's good. Like, not because of the coaching.
We're gonna save the hits principle rant for a few more weeks here. I got it on cue though. Like, I'm just waiting to make sure that this isn't like, sometimes there's always some situations where it'll arise where you don't want to have a hot take too early. But I'm just going to sit and let the situation keep marinating and we'll have the hits rant in the future, we'll have it ready.
They're cooked, man. Get Flus out of fucking Chicago. I'm so sick of it.
Production is halted on Flus juice though. Yeah. That has definitely been, the warrant has been out for the last week plus.
They found fucking bugs at the bottom of all these. Everyone's getting salmonella.